Hi, Morgan here. So today I'm going to be talking about the top, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pandemic items. Things that have been really hot during this pandemic, okay? I think there's going to be a lot of obvious ones, but there's going to be some that I've noticed that kind of shocked me a little bit. But then once I started thinking about it, I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense a little bit. So the first one's going to be RVs and land in general. A lot of people have decided because of this pandemic and the overreaching government and everything that they have decided that they want to live a homestead lifestyle, right? So they are buying RVs to be nomads or land to go, start their homestead life, that kind of thing. So that it's actually been really, really big. It's been very popular for people to buy land. Heck, we bought land, and we know several other people that have bought land either because of this pandemic or this pandemic has made them realize, you know what, now is the right time to buy, right? The next one's going to be chickens, and in general, a lot of livestock and stuff, but chickens have been huge. They've been out of stock just everywhere. Now, of course, it's the chick season is kind of out of season right now. You can still get them from hatcheries. It kind of just depends on what chicks you're looking for. So anyway, my point is, like when we were trying to get chickens, they were like out everywhere. I have seen some around, but they've been pretty, people have been snatching them up, and I can't tell you how many people I've heard that are now owning chickens, like in their own backyards and stuff, which I think is great. I think it's great that people have decided to, they saw egg shortages and things like that, and they realized, well, I can just get my own eggs for, own chickens for eggs, right? So I think that that's great, personally. The next one is going to be canning items. Everybody's wanting to can and preserve, and I get it. Cans have definitely been a pandemic item where it's been very difficult to find the appropriate jars and, just the canning accessories and all that. So it's actually been pretty difficult to find a lot of that stuff. Sometimes there's like an abundance and sometimes it's hard to find. Just kind of depends. The next one, of course, this is an obvious one, freeze-dried foods. All of those prepping, freeze-dried long-term storage foods have been extremely out of stock, weeks and weeks back ordered. Now, some of them have started to come back in stock, and some of them are just in stock because maybe they're not as popular brands or something like that. But, like really popular ones like Mountain House, they were just slammed. And again, they're still kind of coming back in stock, but I know that they are still very behind. So, even now in, beginning of July of 2020, they're still kind of behind, and I think it's still going to be pretty bad. So, I did a video a while back that I had said, a lot of that, some powdered stuff was coming back in stock. Now I've been seeing that it's out of stock again. So if you want some stuff, you better start getting a couple extra items, here and there. The next one's going to be an interesting one, playgrounds and swimming pools, ones that you buy from the store. Playgrounds have been out of stock hard, even used ones. And now, I don't know if it's just my area or whatever, but used playgrounds are extremely rare. And it was really hard to find the playground that we eventually got Kid Rogue. But it took us weeks to find one. And outside of that, swimming pools, absolutely pandemic item. And something else that I noticed the other day, bikes. Bikes were a huge pandemic item, apparently. But you have to think, a lot more people are at home now. Kids are at home, everything like that. Playgrounds are shut down, parks are shut down, that kind of thing. So they're getting their own playgrounds. They're getting their own swimming pools, They're getting bikes to entertain their kids, right? All these things. And so I think it's just kind of a double whammy there of, my kids are more at home now. I'm more at home, so I want more, stuff to entertain them and help me and all this kind of stuff, keep us cool. We can't go to a public swimming pool, but I can buy a swimming pool and, have one at our house, right? Even if it's just like, a little plastic dinky one, right? All right, the next one, this one I was going to shock you guys really hard, but toilet paper. I know. I was really shocked too. Toilet paper was a pandemic item. No, but seriously, it is actually starting to come back in stock. I've seen a lot of toilet paper on the shelves lately, but I have started to see, people starting to buy it again just for, a fear of second lockdowns or continued lockdowns, that kind of thing. So toilet paper has just been a comfort item for people, and it's been very fascinating, very fascinating. And I don't really need to say masks. I think that that's been just kind of like a pandemic item, right? Alcohol. And I don't mean drinking alcohol, I mean the rubbing alcohol. It's still out of stock. It is still a huge pandemic item. I still can't find rubbing alcohol. And if I can find rubbing alcohol, it's the 70%. The 90%, I haven't seen that. I think I was lucky to buy 2 the other day. I mean, not the other day, like weeks ago. But otherwise, it's been 70%. And I've been snatching up the 70% ones because at some point it's better than nothing, right? So alcohol has definitely been a huge pandemic item. Hand sanitizer was a pandemic item, but it's actually come back a little bit in stock. I think it's an oversaturation of hand sanitizer at this point. There's just been hand sanitizer just everywhere. I don't, everybody's producing hand sanitizer now, so which is good. It should be a huge supply of hand sanitizer now, so we should never run out, right? All right, the next one's gonna be baking items, like flour and yeast. Sugar was out of stock for a little while, but not so much. But, really it was flour and yeast, really out of stock. And so, that's definitely something you have to keep in mind. I did see a lot of baking powder out of stock as well, but a lot of baking items in general were very much out of stock. And the next pandemic item are Berkeys. They were really back ordered. I think they still are kind of back ordered, but Berkeys were very, very popular. Again, a lot of people, trying to be a little more self-reliant and trying to, find ways to purify water for just in case, whole system collapses, that kind of thing. So yeah, Berkeys were definitely, I think still are a pandemic item. Even the filters have been a little hard to find. They've been kind of out of stock some places. So, been a little back ordered on that. The next one's going to be, and this one will shock you, I know, for sure, 100%, is ammunition and guns. That's been a huge pandemic item, but that's also in conjunction with the fact that this is an election year. So every election year, ammunition and guns are very, very high in demand. But definitely, with all the the rioting and the pandemic and stuff, it's definitely made a lot of new gun owners, and it's definitely, people are buying up ammo left and right. So, it's been a real big deal this year, even more so than most election years. But for the past several months, gun stores have been slammed, and even online ammunition dealers are not as in stock as they normally would. It's big items there. The next one is actually, this one might actually surprise you, but probably not. Sewing machines. Ta-da! Everybody's wanting to make their own masks, and the side hustle of making masks and selling masks was really big. And I think it's been kind of saturated at this point. Selling masks I think might be a little more difficult. Giving away masks, maybe not so difficult, but selling them might be a little difficult at this point. But it was really hard to find just brand new sewing machines, let alone used ones. I mean, used ones were gone, just 2 seconds flat. But brand new ones, almost impossible to find. And then the last one is just general self-reliance. People, they're buying up seeds, they're buying up, I haven't seen any seeds or soil or anything like out of stock necessarily, but I've definitely seen a hard increase in people's willingness to want to be self-reliant, which I think is fantastic. Keep on with that preparedness, and Baby Rogue is telling me it's time to finish off this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any other pandemic items that you have seen that have been a little out of stock or whatever, besides like canned foods and things like that, but I think in general, foods and meats and things, they've been out of stock. And again, I've actually seen a lot of meats and canned foods still out of stock. I haven't really seen full shelves of those things at my local stores recently. So that's definitely been another pandemic item for sure. But if this list has taught you anything, it's that people are not as dumb as we think that they are. They saw that there was going to be a lack of things, and they decided to stock up on certain things, like the toilet paper and like, canned foods and like, the little water purification and, things for their children, the playgrounds, swimming pools and things, It's plus, we have to take into account of the, you know, not as many workers, you know, not as many people working because, you know, maybe more people are getting sick because of the pandemic, less workers, that kind of thing. So it's all a huge, you know, circle. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Love to hear your thoughts down below. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to y'all later. Bye.